Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night, despite some close moments, as the Marauders of Nirvana managed to maintain control of their two great houses. We caught up with Nirvana leadership in Windsward after their successful holds. Congratulations on your victory here in Windsward. Sure, they got in the gate with 15 minutes left, but all they did was beat around on your horns at the front of the house. But what I want to talk about is what happened at the end of the first period when you almost lost Bravo. 85, maybe 95%. You get the call to get back on there. Would you care to take us through that moment?
I'm going to be honest, John. The adrenaline was racing. Respawns just came out. We're all hard diving the B point to save the day. And you know what? In that moment, we did it. It was exhilarating.
Looking back, do you think that might have been the difference for them in the end?
I think that was the demoralizing moment. You know, in war, you have to keep your head up to take the victory. Face adversity. And in that moment, we shunned them. We weren't going to let them have it then. We're not going to let them have it now. It's pretty simple, John.
Indeed. Is there anybody out there whose efforts you might want to highlight?
Of course. In fact, this person is actually on the enemy roster. What the Boknor? He's an absolute legend. Only issue, he smells like cheese. I love the guy.
Is there anything coming up here in the hamlet that you might want to let the citizens of Eternum know about?
We're upgrading Windsward. Everything, absolutely everything, tier 5. So if you want the premium destination for your trade, your crafting, your AH surfing in the middle of the night, come to Windsward. This is the place to be, baby.
That wasn't the only excitement last night, as KOTT investigative teams discovered a huge cache of gold earlier in the evening. The vast amount of treasure were too much to carry in one trip, so I left some out there for the rest of you to discover. Like this week's Citizen of the Week, who I ran into while vanquishing corruption at this mysterious location. Some light damage caused from last night's final moment invasion in Restless Shore last night, so be sure to check mission boards to help out. Looking at the weather tonight, and it seems like the sun will swoop through as it does before heading back to space, when corruption forces will take note of the cover of darkness and strike at 20% of the island. Yet another submission for simulated fantasy combat resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPCO. Remember, if it isn't LARPCO, it is cardboard. Tonight, the Covenant forces of Most Wanted assail the Syndicate forces of Cutlass Keys Fan Club for control of the secondary oil reserves of Cutlass Keys. The Zealots of Most Wanted return from their temporary hiatus, renewed in their devotion to shepherd the citizens to the light of the spark. But Cutlass Keys Fan Club are currently the longest tenured Great House on the island, so they're familiar with Most Wanted, and they won't be taking this former Great House lightly. We'll have the outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent John Chalant, KOTT News.